Gwen, I would like you to conduct the interview today with Mr. Wright. He's scheduled to be here at 2:30 today. Here's his file.
Okay.
Let's briefly go over the information from my initial consultation with him.
All right.
And the police report. Mr. Wright went into a Dunkin' Donut shop around 2 a.m. While waiting for his order, he decided to use the restroom. While washing his hands, a female entered and stepped into a stall. Mr. Wright finished washing his hands and went to exit. The door wouldn't open. Mr. Wright became frustrated and began kicking the door and yelling. The store clerk phoned police to report suspicious activity in the restroom. Police officers arrived and unlocked the door. The female slipped out and left. However, Mr. Wright was placed under arrest after police found drugs in the restroom and a metal scale in his possession. Any questions?
No. I'll get right on it. Hello, Mr. Wright.
Hi.
My name's Gwen Holt.
Hi, Gwen.
I'm Mrs. Menster's paralegal, and I'm going to be conducting the interview today with you. How's your day been so far?
Pretty good.
Right. Any trouble parking?
No, it was easy, just like you said.
Well, good. Okay. Now, before we start, would you like some coffee or a bottle of water?
Yeah, I think some water would be good.
Okay.
Thanks. Yeah, my throat's getting a little bit dry.
Okay. The purpose of this meeting today is a follow-up from your initial consultation with Mrs. Menster.
Yes.
And today I'm going to be asking you some more specific questions about the events that led up to your arrest. I understand Mrs. Menster's discussed confidentiality with you.
Yeah, I really appreciate that.
Well, I just want you to know that the same applies to me. Anything that you share with me is confidential.
Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome. Now, before you begin, I have a copy of the information that you filled out at your initial consultation.
Okay.
And if you want to just take a look at it and make sure everything's current.
Okay. I believe this is what I said.
Okay, great. All right, well, let's begin then.
Okay.
Now, tell me about what you were doing before you went into the donut shop.
Well, I'd just gotten off work, and I decided to stop for a nightcap at the Playmore Bar, which is next door to the donut shop.
Okay.
I had a drink, and then I got hungry, so I went into the donut shop.
Okay. All right, and then when you went into the donut shop, did you have anybody with you?
No, I was by myself.
Okay, you were by yourself. Okay. And then, other than the store clerk, was there anyone else in the shop when you went in?
Well, when I was entering, there was a couple leaving, but inside the shop, there was no one there.
Okay. And then, did you notice anyone coming out of the restroom when you went to go to the restroom?
No,
okay.
I was by myself.
The restroom was empty at that point. Okay. And then which stall did you use in the restroom?
Well, it's one of those unisex bathrooms. They had one stall and a urinal, and I was using the urinal.
Oh, okay. All right. About how long were you in the restroom before the female came in?
Just a few seconds. I just stepped up to the urinal.
Okay. And then, now, do you know the female that came into the restroom then?
No, I've never seen her before. She was in the bar, though.
Oh, she was? Okay.
Yeah.
So you recognized her from the bar?
Yeah.
Okay. But she's not your girlfriend? Or
no, I've never met her before.
Okay. Now, about how long were the two of you in the restroom together before you tried to exit?
Well, I'm not very good with time, but it wasn't more than maybe 30 seconds. I had used the at the urinal, I washed my hands, and I was ready to leave.
Okay, so it's probably less than 5 minutes.
Oh, most definitely.
Okay. All right. And then during that time, that's all you were doing?
Yeah, just
Okay.
used the restroom, washed my hands.
Okay. And then initially you said you became frustrated when you couldn't get the door open. And is that the only reason why you were yelling?
Yeah, she had locked the door when she came in, and I didn't realize it, and I was trying to get out, and I was mad. Yeah.
Okay. Any other reason why you were...
Well, you know, when she came out of the bathroom, she asked me if I wanted to buy some drugs, and that really made me mad.
Okay. Now, so you started arguing with her about the fact that she was trying to sell you drugs.
Yes, yes. I did not want them. I was, you know, just wanted her away from me, and I wanted out of there.
Mm-hmm. Well, I can understand. Now, when you heard the knock on the door, did you respond immediately?
Well, you know, I was trying to get the door locked. When I got it unlocked, I noticed it was the police, and then I knew she had the drugs, and so, you know, I shut it and locked it real quick. That's just my reaction to it.
Okay. All right. I can understand. So when they knocked, they never identified themselves as police officers?
No, they didn't.
Okay. Now, when you heard the door, or the knock on the door, and then you realized that it was the police and you shut and locked it, it became open at some point in time?
Well, yeah, she slipped out. She unlocked it and slipped out.
Oh, okay. Now, what, if anything, did the police officer say to her as she left?
Well, you know, they said something, but I couldn't understand it. But it seemed like the tone that they knew her.
Okay. Did it seem like they were having a conversation?
Yeah,
Okay.
they knew each other.
Like they knew each other, okay. Is there any reason why she might have a grudge against you?
I have no idea. It just doesn't make sense. I've never met her before.
Okay. So the drugs in the restroom, were they yours?
No.
Okay.
Again, they were hers. She was trying to sell them to me.
Okay. And when did you first become aware that there were drugs in the restroom?
She left the stall and tried to sell me the drugs.
That's when you first became aware of them?
Yes.
Okay. Now, was the metal scale that you put in your pocket yours?
No. No, it was not mine.
And, okay, so you had picked it up off the floor and put it in your pocket. Any reason why you put it in your pocket?
You know, when I saw the police out there and then I see the drugs that she'd left, then I put it in my pocket. It's just a natural reaction. I thought it needed to be hid.
I understand. Okay. Now, what, if anything, did the police officer say to you as you were leaving the restroom?
Well, he said, "Give it up. We got you this time."
Okay. And why did you drop your jacket?
I was in shock.
Now, did the metal scale fall out of your jacket when you dropped it?
Yes, it did.
Okay. And then, what did the police say to you when they placed you under arrest?
He said he was sick and tired of this scum that hangs out here.
Okay. Is there anything else that you can think of that might be important for us to know?
Listen, I'm being framed. I'm a good person. You've got to believe me.
I believe you.
This has never happened to me before.
I understand.
This is going to ruin my life.
Mr. Wright, I just have to tell you, I can certainly understand how you're feeling right now, but I just want you to rest assured that Mrs. Mincer is a very experienced attorney, and she's going to do everything she can do to help you.
I appreciate that. I really need the help.
Okay, and in the next couple of days, she'll read my notes, and you'll get a letter from her, and she'll explain how we're going to proceed next.
Okay.
Okay? But in the meantime, if there's anything that comes to your mind that you can think of, any other information that might be helpful, please call us. Okay? You can call us anytime. Now, let's briefly go over what we've talked about today to make sure I have everything correct for her.
Okay.
The morning you were arrested, you stopped at the Playmore Bar.
Yes. Yeah.
Then you went into the donut shop because you got hungry. That's next door.
Right. Right.
There was no one in the store except the store clerk. A couple left as you went in.
Right.
The restroom was empty.
Yes.
And you'd only been in the restroom just a few seconds when the female walked in,
Right.
correct? Okay. It was just enough time for you to finish using the urinal and wash your hands.
Right.
And then at some point you realized that the door was locked.
Yeah.
Well, you actually didn't realize it was locked. At first you thought it was jammed.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
and then you realized that she had locked it, and that's why you began yelling. And then she came out of the stall.
Right.
And at that point is when she tried to sell you the drugs, and you began yelling at her.
Yes.
Okay. And then the next thing you know, you hear a knock at the door.
Yeah.
Somehow the door's open, but when you look out, it's the police, and so you
Right.
shut the door and relock it.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And then at this point, the door opens again, and the female slips out.
Right. She opened the door and unlocked it, slipped down.
Okay. And there was somewhat of a conversation between her and the police officer,
Right.
do you think?
Yes.
It sounded like
Yes.
they knew each other,
Most
were familiar.
Most definitely. There was a conversation, and it sounded like they knew each other.
Okay. Now, when you walked out, you realized that you were going to be arrested because of what the policeman said to you,
Yeah.
and then that's why you dropped your jacket.
Yeah.
Okay, and then that's also when the scale fell out of your jacket.
Yeah.
Okay. And then while placing you under arrest, the police officer said he was sick and tired of the scum that
Yes.
was out there?
Can't believe he said that.
Okay. All right, well, I think we've covered everything I need for today. I thank you for coming in. Now, is this a good time in case we need to meet again?
Yeah, this time of day is great. You might, some days it might be a problem, but if you would let me know in advance, I can probably
Sure.
get it arranged.
We sure will. Now, like I mentioned earlier, Mrs. Menser will keep you informed on your case. You'll get a letter
Okay.
from her in a couple of days, and then she'll tell you how we're going to proceed.
Can I keep these copies?
Oh, sure you can.
Okay.
Yes, those are for you. And also remember, if you have any questions or anything that you can think of, please call us.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
You've been most helpful.
Okay, thank you.
It's nice to meet you.
Uh-huh.